Here we go. This week we're learning about Balak. This is a sikha from the Rebbe in Chelik Beis. Balak and Bilam. Balak took an expert. Balak was a big anti-Semite. He hated the Jews. And now he really had a good reason to hate the Jews because the Jews were coming to conquer him. Take over the whole land. Take over the whole area. Get rid of clean the swamp.
That in the Quran?
No. So therefore, you might think that the reason that Bilam and Balak and they hated the Jews, because they really did hate the Jews, was because of political reasons. I mean, if somebody's coming to attack you, so you fight back. But really the fact is much deeper than this. Even if the Jews were totally weak and had no power, they would still hate them.
If the U.S. bombs there, you blame the Jews.
The Jews are always at fault. Here we see that the Germans in the Nazis, they went around looking for Jews. The Jews, they took away all their properties, they took away everything they had, and they were still killing them. The Jews were living in forests, they were running away. Old Jews, young Jews, powerless Jews, and they were looking for them. They sent the best men, to gather them up and to kill them, and they lose all their forces. They just hated Jews. They hated the Jews' body, they hated the existence of the Jews, they hated the idea of the Jews. Why? What's going on? So the answer is because they hate God. They hate God. They hate life.
There's so many other religions that believe in a God.
But none of them believe. Right, but none of them believe in a God that creates everybody and has a law for everybody. All of them, we have our religion. You want to go into heaven, believe in it. You don't want to go into heaven, don't. Jewish people say, we're not talking about heaven. God creates you. What he cares about is what you do in this physical world. He wants you to live the most meaningful life possible. Therefore, you have to do what he says. Right? Being a murderer is not a meaningful life. The Germans say, what type of a life is that? If we can't go and murder people, can't make war, life is not worth living. But you say stealing is stealing is bad, you can't steal. There's nations that say, what are you talking about? Stealing is everything. The communists, they stole everything from everybody. So everybody, right? Stealing is bad. That's because you happen to be among the bourgeoisie. You're among the proletariat, right? You own things. Therefore, you say stealing is bad. But really, we know that the simple people have to raise up. Stealing is bad. Across the line, it's bad. Right? No, we don't like that. What do you mean cross the line? Who says God? We don't believe in God. So here we have these Jewish people, stubborn Jewish people, and they say, listen, what can we do? We feel inside that there really is God, and we have to do what he says, even against our will. Our hero is Abraham. That he was willing to take everything, his son and everything, his world to come and everything, just throw it away because God told him to do. What type of a hero was that? What did he get out of it? He says, that's our hero. Everybody says, not our hero. It's not our hero. We want to get rid of people like that. But the fact is that the world also wants to do what's right. The world has a thing called the conscience. And the conscience tells you to do what's right. And everybody in the world knows somewhere down, deep down, that it's a wrong thing to kill and to steal. They know it. But because it's supported by education. What?
Aren't those two of the 10 Commandments?
Yes, they are. They're also two of the 7 commandments for the non-Jews, 7 Mitzvah Noach. But that goes against human nature.
There were actually a lot of German soldiers, not Nazis, but German soldiers who fled the country to the U.S. or Canada or wherever.
Could be.
They didn't like that.
Could be. I mean, I'm sure that Hitler had political rivals. I'm sure that he had philosophical rivals. But if you saw the rallies that he had and the support that he had from the people and the great joy that his soldiers, he had an army of, 2 million soldiers, whatever, the great joy that mothers sent their children into battle to die or to get killed, and the amazing love and admiration that the people had for Hitler, you just couldn't believe it. I heard people speaking after. There was a what is it called? A documentary made of Germans after the war. No, after the war.
Yes, he did. He had 2 daughters.
After the war, After the war, they interviewed people, and they said, "Listen, we really believed in him. We really believed in him, but now we realize he's wrong. Look what he did to Germany. Look what destruction he brought on the German people. What about the destruction he brought? He killed 27. He killed 27 million Russians. What about the destruction he made? That means families and this, heartbreak and confusion just all over the world. That they don't care about, even to this day. They feel a little bit guilty. They did the war, and mostly they feel guilty because they lost. If they wouldn't have lost, then, everybody not German would be killed. Their conscience would have told them to kill people. Their conscience told them that they have to kill. That's how twisted everything became. Yeah? But on the other hand, that's what people like. People like. And today there's not too many people that hate the Nazis. You don't find people that hate the Nazis, even in Russia. They don't hate the Nazis, but they hate the Jews. In Russia, they hate Jews. In Russia, there's anti-Semitism. Putin has to stand up against it.
Nazis are hated in America.
What?
I mean, Israel.
Not too many people hate Nazis. More people hate.
Jews, but they call us Nazis.
Yeah, more people hate. They want to hate the Jews. They say, "You Jews are Nazis." Yeah, you really hate the Nazis?
But we like calling you Nazis. We still hate you.
Let's go. Katub b'sforim. It is written in books. Sheyesh lebilam zikal Amalek. That Bilam has a connection with Amalek. Remez l'davar. If you write the word Bilam and you write the word Amalek, nichtavot b'shtei shurot. They're written in 2 rows. Bilam is written on the upper one, Beit Lamed Ayin Mem, and underneath that you write Ayin Mem Lamed Kuf. So if you read the first 2 letters of each word, Beit Lamed from Bilam and Ayin Mem of Amalek, you get Bilam. If you read the last 2 letters of Bilam, Ayin Mem, with the last 2 letters of Amalek, you get Amalek. So it comes out that they're intertwined. Understand that? You get it?
I have to see it, but I get it.
Here, let me write it down for you so you'll see it. Where do you have a paper over here? Here, give me. You have a paper? Here, watch. Look, give me a paper. Give me a pen. Pen. Do you have a pencil? Ah, yeah. No pencil? Here, there's a pencil over there. There we go.
I got what you're saying, but I didn't visualize that the names have the same letters.
Yeah. Right? Here is Bilam, Beit, Lamed, Ayin, Mem. Here is Amalek, Ayin, Mem. If you take just the first 2 letters of both, then it comes Beit, Lamed, Ayin, Mem. The last 2 letters is Ayin, Mem, Lamed, Kuf, Amalek.
That's cute.
Get it? In other words, what does this show? It just shows that there's a connection. Now, Bilam, what was a Bilam? Bilam was a big sorcerer, and he didn't like competition. He didn't like the Jews. That's what you might think. Who was Amalek? Amalek was a nation that hated God. Amalek was a nation that his only claim to fame was that he hated God and he hated the Jews, and he was willing to die. He was willing to kill himself, but he could not live in the same world as the Jews.
He's willing to kill himself. He doesn't want to live in the world of the Jews, yet he doesn't do it.
No, but his drive is to kill the Jews. He wants to get rid of the Jews. He doesn't want to just feel comfortable. Doesn't care about being comfortable. He wants to get rid of the Jews. He doesn't care if it means that he dies. His goal is not that he should die. His goal is that the Jews should die. But if it meant sacrificing your life, he would. Listen, that's the opposite, the diametric opposite of Judaism. Diametric opposite of Judaism. What is Judaism? You don't care about yourself. You only care about what's good. You're willing to sacrifice everything for the truth. Right? What's Amalek? Amalek is the same thing. You don't care about yourself. All you care about is killing the Jews. You don't care at all about, right? The Jews, they don't care about themselves at all. That's what it's supposed to be. All they care about is God. And Amalek, he doesn't care about himself at all. All he cares about is destroying God. Doing anything he can against God. Anything and everything. It's a pure, inner, pure desire. He's willing not to take bribes. He's willing to overlook all personal gain, personal comfort, personal achievement, doesn't care about the world to come, doesn't care about anything. He cares about only one thing: destroying the Jews, destroying God. That's all he cares about.
Sounds like the Palestinians.
It's a nation, something like the Palestinians. Yeah.
Especially lately with this
Yeah.
whole deal.
It's pure,
Sounds like a crusade.
pure evil. Huh?
Sounds like a crusade.
No, the Crusades were different. The Crusades, the people were promised heaven.
Sounds like the Nazis.
The people were promised heaven. Nazis didn't promise heaven. Even the at least that's what they say, that the Vikings, they were going to go on to live in heaven. The Nazis didn't talk about going into heaven. They talked
Sounds
about
like the pirates.
they talk about just the pirates. They wanted the booty. They wanted money. They wanted pleasure. They wanted action. They wanted action. They say that's the difference. Rabbi Mendel Futterfest told me the difference between the Russians and the Germans. He said when there were towns like in Poland, when the Russians came in, everybody was crying. The Russians were barbarians, murderers, bloodthirsty murderers. But the Germans, it was a pleasure to have them conquer. They were civilized people. You could talk to them. They were logical. They never would have dreamed. The people that came in, the Russians took over. So let's say half of them died, right? They were sent to Siberia. They were wherever. True, they were cruel, but they were cruel from personal nature. And the Nazis, they were just cold. They're just cold, killing people, no emotions, no personality involved at all. Just pure philosophy. Pure philosophy. The Germans are supposed to take over the world. That's Amalek. Coldness. Pure cold death. Ketub B'Sforim says, if you write Bilam on the top and you write Amalek on the bottom, you see that they intertwine. Okay. Haderech lipater, the way to get rid of Klipat Bilam and Amalek is through love and fear. Loving God and having fear of God. Are you with me? Page 44, yeah. Loving God and fear. What does it mean, loving God? What does loving God mean? Loving God means that you really appreciate God. You really appreciate it. There's something really valuable there. It's not. We're not talking about yourself going to heaven. When, again, I know I keep repeating that over, but it's very important because a lot of religion is based on promises that you get. You're going to get something. Judaism is loving God for what God is. Forget about what you give me. Like a person loves his parents. He loves, right? No matter what you do, you're still my friend. No matter what you do, you're still my mother. I still love you. Right? Dad, I want you to know that no matter what, I love you. I'm your son. Right? I love your son. Right? Get out of here. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. He says, but listen, you're my son. I'm your son. I still love you no matter what. You know, that's called love. Appreciating the other person. Connecting to the other person. Seeing something unique in the other person. What is fear? Fear is awe. Fear is respecting the other person. Fearing is giving honor to the other person. Standing back from the other person. That's your awe. Love means you do what the other person, you want to do what the other person wants. Fear means that you do what the other person wants even if you don't want to. Even if you don't want to. You honor the other person and go against your own will. That's fear.
Is this connected to your idea of the North and the South?
A little bit. There's talking about directions. Usually you have a point. No, the north, south is usually the idea of love, and the north is usually the idea of fear. That's connected to it. Gam ba'ava v'yira. Also, if you take the words love and fear, kayam is dugma remezeh. Also, you can see the same thing. If you write the word yira on the top line and the word ahava on the lower line, let's try it here. We have yira, yud, resh, Yud, Resh, Aleph, Hey, and underneath that you write Ahava, Aleph, Hey. Huh? I'm sorry.
Yeah, how does he figure this?
That's right. Beit Hey. Exactly right. So now you have the same thing. Take the first two letters of here, Yud, Aleph, Aleph, Hey, that is Yira. Take the last two letters, Ahava, that's love. Same thing works out. Right? So if you take these first two letters, that's Yud, that's Yira, and these first two letters are love. What does it mean? If you really have love and appreciation for something, then you won't believe anything that's opposite. People that had love for the King David. So his enemies made up all sorts of stories about him, told us the people who had love for Moshe. If they really loved Moshe, they didn't believe the stories. The stories, same thing. People who have love for God, no matter what Amalek says against God, you're not going to believe it. And it could be that what they say is right. Here you have one of the big arguments against God is Holocaust. If God exists, how could there be a Holocaust? Holocaust, Holocaust, Holocaust. Holocaust is terrible. Holocaust is this. Holocaust is this. So you say, okay, you know what? There's no answer. You know what? There's no answer. There's no answer. It's not understood why, but I still love God. I still love God. You can say whatever you want to about God. I still love Him. I'm a Jew and I love God. Right? I don't know. Well, He took me out of Egypt. But that's not story. Those are stories. They're not true. Okay, not true. Holocaust is true. Everything you say is right 100%. The Torah is made up. I don't care. I still love God. I love God. That's all. You can bring me a million arguments, whatever you want to. I'm stupid. Call me stupid. Call me an idiot. Call me foolish. That was the 10 tests that Abraham went through. 10 proofs that God does not exist. Or proofs that God is not good, or God doesn't keep His promises, or God doesn't care, or God is removed. God brought him 10 proofs, right? That what you think God is, that you're going to get, you're not going to get it. Don't bite nails. If you have love and fear of God, it means that you're trying to look for something good, and standing back. It's a basic thing also when you get married. It's a basic thing getting married. What happens when you get married? Marriage is based also on, if you want to call it love, let's not call it fear, but it's the same, really it is the same thing. We're love and honor, called ahava and kavod. Honor, right? Honor. You love your wife, the wife loves those. What do you mean you love her? You look for something good, something unique in your wife. Something that's unique, something that's really, really good. Not that I'm going to get. Right? Something that's really unique. She's a kind person. She's she's a genuine person. Okay, she yells at me. She throws bottles at me. Okay, good. I'll overlook those things, right? I'll overlook those things. But she's genuine. She's kind. She has all these good traits. The love will conquer all these negative things. What is fear? Fear means that there's some things that I just don't understand what she does. I don't understand, but I'll stand back. I won't be the judge. Right? I won't be the judge. I'm making myself small. Love means you make yourself big. I love. I go out. I appreciate. And fear means I don't appreciate. I don't love. But the other person is right. I'm standing back. I'm giving honor. Right? I'm giving a place for the other person. I'm making myself smaller. That's what Yira is, fearing God. The same thing there's things I don't understand about God. He's infinite. He creates me. I don't understand that there's, like you say, the Holocaust, the things I don't understand, but I'm standing back. I'm saying, listen, that's what I think. Who am I? I'm just a creation. Right? People don't like that, especially Amalek doesn't like it. Amalek, in one simple word, is egotism. Pure egotism. I want, I think, I am, I do, I know, I will, I can, I. But sometimes it's very good. Sometimes not so good. Let me give this to Mr. Smith. If you want, you can look out together if you want. Hezber ledevarim amorim. Let's explain this a little bit. The antidote to Amalek, to hating God, is love and fear. Tam lakach, the reason for that, the Amalek hoya mesugal. Do we see where we are in the bottom paragraph here? We're back here. Tam adavar, the reason for the thing, Amalek hoya mesugal, that Amalek was able, lilachem ben Israel, to fight with the Jewish people, hoya mishum shemotza hoya me'esav, Amalek came from Esav. Esav, that's right. Esav, who was Esav? Esav was the twin brother of Jacob, of Yaakov. Esav had a holy father. His father was Yitzchak. Lefichach, Ta'an, he claimed, Shegam hu Nino shel Yitzchak, he is a grandson of Yitzchak, Uben Nino shel Avram, and he's a great grandson of Abraham. Amalek, the arch anti-Semite, the one who hates God. He's a direct descendant from Abraham.
He got his head rolled into
Esav, yes, that's right. Lochein Roshayu, therefore he says, Shehu has got the permission, Lechavod dat, Deya, that he has a right to sound his opinion, Binyani Torah v'Kedusha. He can say matters of Torah and holiness. Amalek. Ke she horsha miktzat lachtor, and soon as you say, Amalek, you come from a Jewish family, then I'm going to let you in. Tidkale amusag shel yodet rabbono umakavelim mordo. All of a sudden, Jews get a new thing. A person can recognize God, know how good God is, and intend to rebel against God. Yodeh et rabbono, some people say makir et rabbono umakaven limrodbo. V'kora ma shenase al yado, and then comes the things that were by means of it. It's possible for a person to learn all the Torah, all of the Gemorahs, know all, even Kabbalah, know everything that you can do, but if he's not attached to a Rebbe, if he hasn't got love and fear of God, then Amalek is going to get in. He's going to start to hate somebody. He's going to start to hate Judaism, hate Torah, hate mitzvah, hate the Chassidim, hate someone. Cain, Gam, Bilam. That's the same thing with Bilam. Bilam sha'alav omeret Gemorah. That's what the Gemorah says in Sanhedrin. Shemotza'o milavan. That Bilam came from Lavan. Don't bite your nails, please. Lavan said, Habanot banotai. Lavan said, the daughters are my daughters. Please look inside. See, the daughters are my daughters. Habanim banai. The sons are my sons. V'kol asher ata ro'eh lihu. That's what he said to Yaakov. Your daughters, your wives are my daughters. All of your children, the 12 tribes, they come from me. I'm the grandfather. Shegam lo yesh kesher livnei Yisrael. I have a connection with the Jewish people. Shekein mibenosav nivneh beit Yisrael. It's from my daughters that the 12 tribes came. That's Bnei Yisrael. That's the whole Bnei Yisrael comes from Lavan. Zu efo horalach kol dor. This is coming to teach everyone in our generation and in all the generations. Kishabah mishu. If someone comes, the Omer Hefucha Shel Torah, and says the opposite of Torah of mitzvahs. Gam yimu sholef tuda, even if he pulls out a certificate. Shu nino shel Yitzchak, I am a grandson of Yitzchak. I am a great grandson of Abraham, direct descendant. Shemimeno nolda elu shemeem nivna beis Yisrael. That from me was born the whole entire Jewish people. Yesh lomar, you have to say to him, Anu ein lanu elo avinu shebashamayim. All we have is God, our Father in heaven. Hamoded hayachid, He's the only one that can measure. Sheyesh lanu, the only measuring stick that we have regarding everything, namely Torah. Lo yichus, not where your family is. Lo mashu acher, and not anything else. Mehave lididenu aposek is going to be the decider. Who's going to decide what Judaism is? Not convenience.